Welcome back to another episode of the Weekly DLC. I'm one of your hosts, Kurosh, joined always by my co-host, Danny Vargas.
Hello, Kurosh.
And Danny Jane.
Corona.
And if you're not familiar with what we do, we come to you each and every week from podcasting services of your choice, from quarantine tables of our choice. We've reclaimed this table. We're in quarantine right now, 14 episode worth of content.
Episode 169 coming at you.
Weeks. Let's just go for 28 weeks.
20 weeks later. Yep. If you're not familiar with what we do, we talk about different fun topics, usually pop culture, current events, games, movies, comics, everything in between. We try to have fun most of the time. Sometimes we hit some, more serious topics, but we keep it light overall. This is episode 162. And yeah, if this is your first time, strap in. It's going to be a fun time. If this is not your first time and you've been with us for anywhere between the last 1 to 161 episodes ago,
we hope the audio is better.
We're making improvements. We're hearing you. We're hearing you, hoping that you can hear us better in this time of need that everyone has.
Just one feedback and you can already hear the difference.
That's what we offer. That's the kind of service we have. Weekly DLC offered to you. Guys, what have you been up to? Tell me.
Quarantined myself, so I was sick over the weekend. And I played a few games, and I can't remember what games I played.
Oh, embargo? You can't talk about them?
And I just can't remember. What did I do? So I've this isn't even for over the weekend because it came out on Tuesday. Destiny 2.
You back?
I'm back, baby. I got the
Bungie.
So I thought like because I have like the whole the season pass essentially.
The annual
it
pass?
doesn't include. Yeah, I guess it didn't include this one, or maybe I didn't have it. I guess.
Did you get Shadowkeep?
I did have Shadowkeep.
I don't know. Maybe it was a separate there. Like you get Shadowkeep and you get like a few seasons.
Oh, I thought you meant like if I had. Yeah, because I was trying to go cheap with the PC version because I already had it on PS4. So I think, I think I bought Shadowkeep and it probably wasn't the season pass.
Okay, so you got the season pass.
It was $10.
Yeah. It's not a lot of new content.
I did not get the season pass. I got just the new expansion or whatever. The new.
It's
update.
a season.
Oh, well, it's not a pass for this. I guess, they do season pass thing. That's right.
It's not several seasons. You're just getting this season.
Yes, and it's $10. Okay. Like level 4 or 5 into this season right now.
Okay.
I've been trying to do well, right now it says one of my quests is like, hey, get level 960. Light level 960, and so I'm like 955.
It'll be quick.
Are you 960 already?
Yeah, dude. I ended last season 980.
Oh, I didn't. Okay.
They're just making the minimum barrier for trials.
I didn't know.
Being
I'm
960
over here like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna be ahead of Kuro. I did all the strikes I could. I haven't done all the Gambit that I could yet.
Gambit's broken right now.
Gambit's one of my least favorite things, dude. Yeah. It's just like the thing is like
my mind shuts off in Gambit.
Yeah, like it's too much work for what I would feel like just not enough rewards.
Gambit or Gambit Prime?
Both Gambits. I haven't played
Gambit Prime is more annoying.
It's even worse. But anyway, I did all of the so I did both the strikes and the Crucible stuff that I need to. So I got the
Pinnacle stuff.
Yeah, like the gear, better gear on those. Clan's been getting me some stuff. So I messed up. I logged in before the update on Tuesday, and I was like, okay, I need to remember that I need to log in to grab the guild stuff because they had unlocked. Or the clan, they had unlocked the 3 items, like the raid, the thing. I was like, cool, I'll get that. That'll just be free loot. I forgot to pick them up, dude.
Don't worry. Every week they'll be there.
I know.
This is a big clan. I don't even do anything with anyone in it. I'm just like boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, but I mean, it would have put me like a little head start. But so we're doing that. Looking forward to the Friday, which would for us would be tomorrow. It's gonna be Diablo season 20.
Oh, so you're leaving? Bungie.
Also, the whatchamacallit, the Switch comes out. The
Switch?
Animal Crossing Switch.
Next week.
Tomorrow.
Oh, it's tomorrow.
I could pick it up today, technically.
Hey.
Dude, so you know that shit's serious? GameStop called me twice today, making sure if I'm going to pick it up.
Because they're like, we got people.
You didn't pick it up, so I'll pick it up for you on my net.
Nah, Reggie cancel it for you.
No.
Hey, Reggie.
But I didn't call them. I just got 2 voicemails.
Okay.
That shit's serious. They said you got until Sunday to pick it up, and I was like, they know me, dude. So
and then they're like, we're closed on quarantine until Sunday. Like, fuck.
So I have not pre-ordered it.
The game or the Switch?
The Switch, the actual
So
system.
you're going for it? If
I'm
you can
gonna
find
try
it?
to without having pre-ordered it. We'll see if I can get it.
you know,
you also going for
who
it?
you can ask, right?
Turbo Man?
The thing is, when it went up for pre-order, I had gotten the other tattoo, had already had the plan for the other tattoo. I was like, I don't know where I'm going to be at with money right now. So I'm like, I'm not going to pre-order.
I'm liquid right now, bro.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm not going to pre-order. I am ahead of the game, bro. So I'm good to go.
Okay.
And then, so I'm going to try to do that at least.
I got an early review copy, so mine's preloaded on the Switch.
Nice.
So
I might buy a physical version of it just because of like the
Get the Best Buy version.
yeah the
With the journal?
notebook. Yeah. No.
what's the
Plush. And it comes with bells.
Oh, the bag of money.
best? I really like
That's
the
the
journal.
best. That's the best pre-order, I think, in my opinion.
Okay, that's a good one. Yeah.
Should put it in right now then.
Yeah.
What else? Dude, I've been doing so much I can't remember.
Dude, too
I
much.
can't remember.
I mean, it's been busy. It's been wild.
Yeah.
This week.
What else did I do? Been playing games. Did I buy anything? Probably bought. On the Switch, I played. So I had bought Grandia HD a while ago. I finally started playing it. I'm like 10 hours in. I think that's what I was doing over the weekend.
Okay.
When I was sick, I was just in bed, literally just playing the Switch, and
That's what it's there for.
it's good. It's fun. It's funny. It's really weird though. Like I don't know when this game came out, but you're straight up a kid. Like you're not allowed to go. Like you're playing and there's like adults going like, "Hey kid, you're not allowed in here. Hey kid, you're not." And then you meet this female adventurer and you're like, okay, she's like,
Hey kid, you're not allowed.
she's like
kid, you want to see $5?
Probably 23 plus years old, and you're at least 12, dude. And
Typical
there's
anime setting.
know, right?
there's some romance going on between these two, dude.
I mean, Padme and Anakin is okay. So
I mean, the age of that
Anime
girl is
logic.
unclear, but you are for sure a kid who has curfews. You can't go out. Like, you can't do anything. And
they're trying to set you up to be a naughty kid.
it's so insane, dude.
Yeah.
But,
Stepmom.
but from my understanding is Grandia 2 is supposed to be the better, like, polished version of these games. And
Dude, save it for episode 169.
and so I'm kind of just rushing through the first one,
Of course.
to get to the second one. But I'm still, I have a lot. I'm like halfway, and I'm like 15 hours into this one, dude.
Damn.
So there's a lot more to go.
Well,
But yeah, that's it.
cool. That's good. Jane, what are you up to?
Still moving, but I mean, no, I got done on Wednesday.
Okay.
Like the final stuff, and I looked back in my room of 5 years and good memories.
And you're like not getting my deposit back.
No, hopefully I am. Shit. But
You look back, you're like, yeah, no deposit.
I looked back and I was like, damn, it was a fun time when I could be loud on stream. Now the stream.
Dude, you're quiet. I'm listening. I'm like, man, is he either like really in the zone?
This guy's ASMR. Welcome back, guys. To the ASMR.
And then you hear,
Is there certain hours that you can be loud? Like, granted, I know it's not your like streaming hours, but
I could probably in the daytime.
okay. Like what? Like would
Weekend,
that?
daytime.
Yeah, weekends would be.
Yeah.
But your stream hours on weekends are the same, right?
Yeah.
If not later. Okay. Have you slept in your chair?
I haven't. And you know what? Sleeping is not comfortable. It's not.
Period.
It's the bottom part of the hamstring because your legs are dangling like this, and that's not comfortable. It's like cutting off circulation.
So if you had
A bed extension.
footrest, you'd be good.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and it feels like it'll tip over, but I don't think it'll tip over.
Too much junk in the trunk.
And yeah, continuing on to Bloodborne.
Yeah?
was doing the Harry Potter run, and that got boring. Dude, that is not fun. It's just too easy. It's just I'm nuking these guys, and like this is not fun. It's just,
when you're doing these runs, are you doing it to like, okay, I've beaten all the bosses with this character, or I'm going to a certain level on the character? Like,
just beat all the bosses. Now I'm doing a Luke Skywalker because there's a.
What does that entail?
It's like a lightsaber sword. Okay. It's not really a lightsaber. It just glows, but throws sonic booms.
Oh.
But
only when you have perfect health.
I just want to do
Master Sword style.
I wanted to use different weapons.
Okay.
It was hard though. Fighting Cause was hard because the magic, high defense, and I had to beat him straight up, and it was still fucking hard. And I had a lot of health. Just not a lot of stamina, and he was kicking my ass. But tonight or tomorrow night, Resident Evil 3 classic.
Friday the 13th stream.
Oh, Freaky Fridays, Freaky Fridays and Spoopy Saturdays, and then Sundays will be Animal Crossing when it comes out. Pick up my Switch, Animal Crossing Switch tomorrow.
Nice.
Dad, put my screen protector. Do an unboxing stream video tomorrow.
Okay.
That's the first thing. And we're going to try to put the screen protector. I usually fuck up the first one.
Yeah.
And then the second one saves me. I don't know. It just, because there's always like a dust particle. And then the first one.
God damn it.
And I even do it upside down too. So
damn. You're like fucking Mission Impossible.
Shit, dude. But yeah. Unboxing video. And
so then you're going to transfer everything over. Are you going to keep the old Switch? What are you going to do?
Dude, I'm going to do the return repurchase. So
of the Mac?
I've lost $300 in, according to the Switch. Well, not $300.
Oh, from the first.
Because you lose 120, about 120 doing a trade-in, buy a new Switch. So I lost $240. I'm going to lose $240. This is the third Switch that I did this to.
Third?
Tomorrow is the third Switch. Because the first I had the OG one.
Yeah.
Got the better battery one.
Oh, okay,
and
okay.
Tomorrow will be the third, the Animal Crossing one.
Okay.
So hopefully
two Switches, three.
No more.
No more.
No more release like better Switch versions.
Oh, they're coming with Switch Pro. That's the one. That'll be my third one.
New Monster Hunter game, like Monster Hunter.
yeah, they're gonna go with a little nub stick. Monster Hunter World on the Switch.
I don't know if you guys saw. They were Nintendo tried to dismiss the. They have a lawsuit for drifting Joy-Cons. Yeah, and they tried to get it dismissed, and they're like, nope. And so the lawsuit's going through.
Of course. Good. Justice.
So we might, be able to get free upgraded Joy-Cons if this goes through.
I'll take them.
Yeah. Yeah, just new place. I gotta unpack. Fuck.
Where are you putting all your books? I only saw a little book stand.
Oh shit, they're in storage, dude.
Are you gonna keep that storage thing for the time being, or are you gonna like whittle it down, or
keep it forever?
Okay.
I like the new setup. I don't know if I.
Your light's good.
I don't know if I want to do green screen or background. I'm still undecided. I like both. I don't know.
Do you have a green screen?
I do have a green screen.
Of course you do.
That I never used. Like for a music video. That I never filmed.
We could be using this shit.
That I never filmed. But we'll be back.
So for me, what have I been up to since we last talked? I've been playing a little bit more Fortnite, not too much. And then I switched gears to Apex. I played that more. Man, I was so close to fucking winning one. I was like last two teams, and the team, like our team was like, for being a solo like LFG group, it was doing pretty good. I was like, all right, we're doing okay. We got good gear, we're good. And then it gets down to this other team, and we're like, I was talking to you about it like after my match, and you were like, yeah, it's all about like positioning and tactic. And I was like, I did none of that. I just ran in there. I was like, taken out. And then my teammates were just fucking down.
You should either wait till they're fighting each other or go in right after the fight ends. Yeah. Like,
because they're trying to
third party.
It was the one time I was like, I think we can finally go in, because I was like, one team should be fine. And bad idea. But got second. I was like, I'm pretty happy with that. But like the loop of it was fun. I like that. It's gonna be into my topic of like these battle royales. So then I did.
Are you playing on PC or
PC?
Okay.
Yeah. It took fucking forever to do that upload or the update or whatever, but I got it set up now because I like having one screen where I can play and then the other where I can function. And the way it was before, if I tried to go outside of the game, it would just like minimize the game. I was like, man, what the fuck is this? God damn it.
Windowed mode?
Yeah, I had to go window. But it's such a good, like, the feel of the guns is really good. The ping system is really great. Like, just all the dynamics that they have is very, like, it does a lot of the work for you in terms of, like, you just got to pay attention to everything and just start utilizing it. It's like, here's your tools, go. It's not like you have to go through all these sub-menus and whatever, but yeah, it's very, very interesting how they approach it and, like, the hero mixed with the battle royale. And then I did a little bit of travel. Went to San Fran. Easiest, it's like crazy because it was before all the coronavirus stuff like really peaked out. It was like on the cusp of that, and like airports were empty. I got there on a day that should have been like packed. Like no one was in the TSA line. It was funny because like one of the security guys at the TSA was like, "Dude, I like your stick. Is that Gundam? Is that Mech War? Is that Star Transformers? Dude, I want to talk to you. Like, man, why the fuck? Like, line's too short." I was like, "Peace, dude. Good seeing you." Anyway, so went through and like I hadn't seen like a flight with so little like. So many empty seats. I was like, I could easily pick my like empty seats every which way. The guy next to me though, he was there and he was just like the entire flight. He zipped up his hoodie. It was just his eyes, and he's like, yeah, he was like that. he was Rorschach.
He looks like a Ninja Turtle villain.
Watchman, Mirror Man.
The hand, is that what from Ninja Turtles?
No, the
what is it? Second? I don't know what they're not. What are they called?
No, Foot Clan.
Oh yeah, Foot Clan.
Yeah,
Where's the hand? Is that from Go-Go Gadget?
Daredevil. The hands.
Yeah. You're close though. Claw is the villain from.
God, I'm so off on all these.
I mean, there's a lot of similarities. But so yeah, I was on my flight. I've been playing Pokemon. I finished all like the game stuff, and I was trying to do max raids. Did you guys ever do any of those?
Nope.
I was trying because they're like, certain Gigamax raids are back, like the Snorlax with the trees on it.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, I want to group up. Like, I don't want to do this shit on my own.
I heard a raid and I thought of Pokemon Go, and I'm like,
oh, no. Well, they were trying to mix the two.
I've done max raids, yes.
Solo or with people?
No, solo. Because people, it takes fucking forever, dude.
So when I'm the one setting it off, fucking forever.
Yeah.
Unless I have like a high demand, like this is the one everyone wants, 30 seconds at the most. But when I'm searching, I tried searching. I was like, this should be easy. Just find. But I should be like I was thinking Monster Hunter in the 3DS lobbies. Just fucking queue up. You go. Every time I try to queue up, there was like 5 I could find. First of all, it doesn't let you filter. When I try to filter just by that, it's like, no, you can't. I'm like, what? Then what do I do? So I'm going through the whole list of those stickers, and occasionally I'll find one. I'm like, oh, join.
Already
full.
or already finished.
Error. Disconnect. They've put a passcode. No longer available. Connection. I'm like, motherfucker. I finally get into one, and some bullshit one that I don't even want to do, but I'm like, I got in. I don't care. And
they're running. They're rocking a magic card.
Yeah, they're using like random shit, and I'm like, is this can't be, like, there's got to be and I'm still in the midst of figuring out
it's not gotten better.
The better way.
Dude, I did it when it first, like, when it was huge. Like, when the game first came out, I feel like there should have been a million people trying to, like, do max raids. I was trying to do the Snorlax.
Yeah.
And, like, because when it first came out, I thought, like, dude, Snorlax is going to be a limited event. Once that's gone, they're stating that they're going to move on to newer.
Yeah, they keep rotating.
Yeah, exactly. So I was worried, like, it wouldn't rotate back to this guy in time. So I was like, I need just a Snorlax is all I freaking need. And I eventually was just like, you know what? I just spammed my own. Like, I just, like, did myself. The only problem is you'd get, like, NPCs that have, like, bring
jack
like,
shit,
or like one that's weak.
The thing is, if they die, like, there's 2 lose conditions. You get 4 feints as a team, or the game goes longer than 10 turns.
Yeah.
And I forgot that the Gigamax enemy raid thing can go double in a turn. So he's just like, hit, hit, and then like after you get him to so much health, he gets shield up, and then he's like hit. I was like, God, fuck. And then so
and then it's like a 0.0.
You get one throw. You get one throw. If you don't get it, fuck off.
I don't know if you've seen the chances for these Gigamax rates.
I don't know if I should.
Bro, they're less than 1%. They're like less than 0.05%.
Is there like a certain ball?
Master Ball was the only thing that obviously is guaranteed.
Is there a glitch?
Other than that, no, there's nothing, dude. There's nothing. So people, I mean, there is a glitch where like obviously you have to have a friend.
Okay.
But like he would, the one who's their game has the actual, they would have to like turn it off before you guys finish the raid, and he can restart like the whole raid again. So
for that, yeah. I meant like to get, you know how like original games you could get infinite items.
Oh no.
Oh, damn. Okay. Whatever. I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm not willing to give up yet, but I feel like there's got to be a better way. So I played that, playing Apex, and then so I went on my trip. I was playing a lot of Pokemon Go on my trip. There was a bunch of stuff happening, and it was really fun. Never been to San Fran before.
Nice.
Really nice city.
Steep hills.
Fuck, dude.
You can tip over cars, I feel like.
So we Ubered everywhere. We went to Fisherman's Wharf, and then she's like, "Oh, I heard Lombard Street's not that far." So we're like, "All right, let's walk." It was like 1 mile walk, and like we're like, oh, not that 20 minutes, and all of a sudden we get to a point, and I look up, and it was right after we had eaten a lot, and I was like,
imagine going downhill on a bike.
I've been there twice. The first time I ever went, friends were like, literally, it was like midnight. I was just chilling. They called me like, "Hey, do you want to?"
Wild Vargas, dude.
We'll never get to see it.
You want to go to San Francisco? I'm like, "Yeah, when?" Right now, we're outside your house, and I'm like, let me grab a bag with clothes. Threw on clothes. We went, took off, dude. So
he was naked.
They drove the long distance. I slept, and then getting there, I was like, guys, I'll drive the rest of the way. Oh my God, it's the scariest thing, dude. I'm like going down like and I'm like, I can't even see the road. It's like a roller coaster. Yeah. I was like, what the fuck, dude? I hate driving fucking San Francisco.
Yeah. She was like, oh, we should rent a car. I'm like, this is vacation for both of us or for you? Because I'm not going to drive. I drive all the time. And so
parking, have you seen?
Oh, the parking. I was like, A, driving, B, parking.
$95 all day parking, or like $30 30-minute parking. I'm like, you fucking kidding me?
It's worse than LA.
Yeah, way worse.
100. Yeah. And so we're Ubering everywhere, and then we get to Fisherman. We're walking up, and I was like, it was late too, and I'm like, we're literally the only fuckers fucking walking up this thing. Everyone's either scootering this thing or taking the carts or Ubers. We finally get to Lombard Street, and she's like, oh, let's walk down it. And I was like, all right, whatever. Walk down it. She's like, we should drive down it. So she's like, let's go back up it and then get an Uber to take us through it. And I was like, you fucking kidding me? Like, give me a sec.
Let's get Uber from here to go up and down again.
So we walk up it, but I'm taking my fucking sweet time. So we walk up it, then the Uber comes, we go. Saw Little Italy, saw the Golden Gate Bridge. Ghirardelli.
Did you walk through the Golden Gate Bridge?
We walked halfway.
Oh, that's far, dude.
It wasn't that bad.
It's far. It's
good enough, though.
So it was raining the first half of the trip. The beginning of the day we went to the Golden Gate, it was raining, and we're like, okay, we're going to go to this museum. There was a planetarium and a bunch of other shit that was really cool. And then by the time we finished, the rain had gone, and we're like, oh, perfect. Clouds cleared up. It was great. Then we go to the Golden Gate Bridge. I was like, holy fuck, this thing, wow. Like, man-made, just crazy. So we go like, oh, let's go walk it. So we're walking it. It's not bad. It's fine. Halfway there, and we're like looking out into the like Alcatraz,
and you see Godzilla coming.
And I was like, do we want to walk anymore? Or do you just want to walk back? She's like, let's walk back.
In the middle.
But I was like, she was like, yeah, let's walk back. It's fine. And then I was like, yeah, literally the other half is the same. So like,
we walk all the way. We have to walk all the way back anyway.
Like, we've seen all of it technically. Doing it on cue. So we walk back, and then we walk to the Industrial Light and Magic where the Yoda statue is. Really cool statue, but like that place is usually closed.
No.
And then it's not far from a couple other stuff. So we walked a lot that day. And then the last day, one of the things part of her birthday, I was like, oh, we'll do a trip out for this and make it a part of it. Was I got her and I tickets to go see Harry Potter and the Cursed Child,
nice.
the play.
Yeah, two-parter. You saw it in one day, right?
Yeah, weekends are only one day because part 1 and part 2. If you go on a weekday, you can see different parts on each night. Yeah. So I checked the runtime. Each part is about the same, 2 hours and 40 minutes apart.
Or 5 hours again.
And then there's like a 20-minute intermission included in that. So 3 hours each. It was fucking long. Like theater seats are okay for 2 hours, 3 hours. Theater seats are not okay for that long. We were both like, so we had good seats, but then like this guy came up to her, fucking giant, wide, like big shoulders, wide frame and everything, and then he's like sits right next to her. I was like, you fuck out of your fucking kid. And like he has a girlfriend, and I was like, why? Literally the second half they came back, they switched. I was like, okay, cool. I had an aisle seat. I was like, man, I knew what I wanted. I was like,
you should have been like, it's your birthday, we're switching.
No, those tickets were not cheap. I get something. They were not cheap.
Hopefully she doesn't listen to this.
No, I told her. I was like, man, these tickets are not cheap.
You're like, Katie, you know what? This is my seat.
She's like,
no, I gave her room. I was like, you can get some of my leg space.
Oh my god.
She was fine. Okay. But
cartoons like.
But what was funny was there was a little kid behind. A lot of little kids were in this, and there's no privacy. She's like, I can't see. He's too tall. And I was like, what the fuck am I? I'm like, I'm not gonna this is 6 hours. I'm not gonna be like this the whole time. I'm like, I paid for this seat just like your mom paid for your seat. And then her mom came back with like cushions and stuff. And I tried to be in the aisle so like if she looks straight, she'd be fine. So I did try. But it was funny because I could hear her in the second half. She's like, oh, I have a cushion. Mom's like, oh, does that help? She's like, it's not so much that I couldn't see, it's that he's too tall. And I'm like, motherfucker.
You should be like, hey, at least this guy's not here. At least this guy's not here. Big dude.
You should be like, let me fix this for you and just switch with that
guy. But so they were pretty good, easy to set, get everyone in. The staff was really into it. So all the concession people were Ravenclaw. Oh. All the merchandise people were Slytherin. All the people helping to your seat were Gryffindor. Everyone was something in a different spot. Have you guys read the story?
No.
No.
Okay.
Spoilers.
I won't spoil. But they changed things in the second part.
Okay.
Based on story stuff. But the theater production of it was so cool. The way they showcased magic was both corny but also clever. They did a lot of things with time turners are part of the integral part of the whole story. It's mentioned in the synopsis.
So they go back.
There's a lot of time turner stuff, but the way they do time turner, you know how in movies sometimes there's a really loud sonic boom or something, and you see a ripple effect.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They somehow made that effect look on stage. I was like, what the fuck? Is it really rippling? It was
he really went back to check the watch. Nani?
Part
the
one
show was
again?
only a minute long. What the?
But between the way they did the lighting and how they did the stage stuff, I was like, man, that's fucking. Where did he come from? There were literally parts I was like, how the fuck? There was an empty bed, and he flips the blanket, and all of a sudden 2 people were in the bed. I was like,
magic.
Yeah, magic, dude.
Or part magic.
Or they were going into ministry, and you know how you know how when they go into the ministry, they get sucked into it?
Yeah.
I don't know where they went. I would they go into a telephone booth. I wasn't.
You legitimately don't know where they went.
Magic.
Yeah.
There are compartments on the stage. Just
that's true. Yeah. But just how quickly they do it, it was surprising. And And then the acting was really cool. Like theater acting though gets a little like I think they crank it up. Yeah, they definitely do it over the top. Like Harry didn't feel like Harry. And I don't know whether it was the acting or the story because I was reading about the story later. I never realized it wasn't J.K. Rowling who wrote it.
Oh.
She endorsed a fan fiction.
Wow.
And they pushed it into a theater production.
And then now they're all gay. Like,
yeah. There was a tweet that says J.K. Rowling, and she's like, I didn't want to say anything, but in actuality, Dobby really had coronavirus in book 3 the whole time. I was
like, but now that it's out in the open, I might as well just release this information.
So they did some characterization stuff that was like that seems a little fanficky or like fan servicey, this and that. Like they make them all like the top positions in the magic world. Yeah. Like
still better than season 8 of Game of Thrones.
Yeah, no, 100%. But like some of the new characters they introduced had interesting complications and dynamics. I was like, I wonder what that would be like. That would suck. Like they have kids, obviously, and he's named like I think in the end of the movies, he names his son Albus Severus Potter, and it's like that's a big name to live up to. Like you put like a lot of pressure on this kid who like he's like I don't know what the fuck to do. Like I don't know. It was interesting seeing a lot of parallels and dynamics and stuff, but good play, good production. If you're in San Fran, highly recommend it. Like when they did like Avada Kedavra and like all the Spelliarmus, the effects they did on the stage were really cool. Like it was pretty cool. Came back and then I tried. We'll talk about it more, but I tried Call of Duty Warzones, the new battle royale.
Battle royale connoisseur.
I mean, when you got to start playing them when they're like right out, like Fortnite, Apex.
Before people were
Mozambique.
Shit. I mean, you're not wrong.
Huh? But yeah, I gave that a little try, and I'll talk about that more in my topic. But I think that's about it. And work's been crazy, and we're all going through stuff.
Yes.
So let's go to our sponsor real quick. Health.
Stay healthy.
Stay healthy, my friends.
Wash your hands.
Wash your hands. Yeah. If you're coughing, cover up.
Self-isolate. Quarantine. Self-quarantine.
Quarantine.
Self-quarantine.
Support your
hand sanitizer.
Support your immune system.
Yeah. Just be safe. Be out there. Be careful. Whoever you're talking to, just use code HEALTHDLC. And you'll get healthier.
Health DLC later.
Yeah. So with that, Jane, do you want to start us off?
There's been a virus going around affecting us. Originally called coronavirus, COVID-19.
What do you mean us?
Racist? Xenophobia? But what are some of your experiences when life-changing stuff, I guess, and what do you see for the unforeseeable future because of this virus?
It's wild, man. Up until now, I'm curious, how serious or lightly have you guys been feeling about it? Has it been going up and down? Has it been staying the same, getting worse? That's the part that's been changing for me a lot. Is at first I was freaking out. I was like, oh shit. They're gonna shut down all of China? That's crazy, but that's so far away. And then they're like, oh shit, it's in surrounding parts of Asia. And then it's first thing in America. And now fucking it's everywhere, and then things are shutting down and all these things. I'm like, what the fuck? This is nuts. And toilet paper going wild. I don't know. That, just the concept of that global kind of scale of something like that is a lot to process on any level. Whether it's a good thing or a bad thing in this case. But that's been a big part for me. It's just wrapping my head around that. But a lot of conversation has been kind of it's not immediate yet. I don't have it. Luckily, I feel very fortunate. I don't have anyone, I think, besides older family members, but there's no one that I know with a distinct immune issue or kind of concerning that. But I'm still anyone could be a carrier, So those are some thoughts. But I don't know. Do you guys want to go around or?
I haven't. I've seen it obviously on the news and stuff, but me and my family, we've always been someone who like we buy certain things that we need. And like we've always had bulk of these items. So TP, like I asked my dad, I was like, hey dude, so you're gonna buy more TP? And he's like, why? I'm like, well, it's like all sold out. He's like, what? I'm like, I mean, you have 4 cases of these things, but that's from like way before already. Like he literally just always carries like, he buys them from Sam's Club or whatever. He's like the 32,000
mega packs.
Yeah. And he's like, no. And then I use a bidet, so I don't even need to. The future.
Wild Vegas.
I recommend it, by the way. Just saying. But
you use aimbots?
Never miss.
Headshot.
Dead shot. I never miss.
You guys are horrible. No, so that isn't an issue.
Like fucking toilet paper savages.
But work wise, I mean,
I'm the dog.
My company does carry medical supplies. So
Yeah.
we have like hand sanitizers.
Oh.
We have hand wipes, like disinfectant wipes for hands specifically. Dude, these, oh my God, dude, we have tons of medical companies trying to buy these objects from us, these items from us, and we're like, we are not a reseller. Like we only sell to the customers that are, you know, like that are for us. Like we are limiting this product. Like it's like no more than a case. If you've had a case before, we'll sell you another case. If you've never bought this product, we're limiting it like 1 individual item per person per account. And we've already, even with this rule set, we've already sold out of a ton of these things. We're out of like, we have Purell dispensers with refills. We ran out of the refills. We still have dispensers. No one needs dispensers unless there's fucking refills for it. The actual hand pump sanitizers, completely sold out of those. Face masks, completely sold out of those. And it is putting a lot of strain on work because like there's just so many orders going through.
Yeah, just frantic.
And a lot of them are just like, bro, we don't have this anymore. I'm canceling your order. Here's a refund. And people are just pissed because like now it detains their money for like the next 5 business days.
Wow.
And it's like, you should be ordering random shit from a random supplier that you've never had before.
Yeah, it's tough. Yeah, my work, it's an office environment, but like leading up to all this, it's already kind of flu season, so people have been sick and there's always that like, there's always in offices like people are there like, I'm sick, I'm not like, it's not that bad, I'm not sick, and they're like just coughing up a lung, and you're like, dude, you're gonna get us, and then sure enough 3 more people are like sick, and I'm like,
Dude, I've had a coworker maybe for a month now. She's had this cough just nonstop.
That's my boss, dude. He's had a cough for a month.
The thing is, it's like I understand different reasons as to why some people don't take the time off. They're like, I only have a limited amount that our office offers us, and I can't use it like just willy-nilly, so I gotta be careful how I use it. Other people need to use it because they have family members that they have to take care of. And it's just a lot of different reasons. The only thing that like I just want, like if I have the bare minimum, is just like the common courtesies of like just like cover yourself. Yeah. Don't go over to someone area and like there's like some snacks and just be like, oh, everyone. I'm like, dude, like what? And like you don't need to come next to me and like start like, oh dude, like let me see your screen. I'm like, you motherfucker. Like I just need that bare minimum. Fucking leave me alone. Like quarantine yourself in the office or something. I don't know. That's the little bit I just ask. And there's still people that are like, nah, not an issue. Like they would sit next to me in a staff meeting. Like I'm like. So that's that. But a lot of people have been like constantly asking for guidance from the site, like the site leadership, but also like the company wide leadership, which is many sites. And it's been kind of like, I think it's optional. Everything's been optional thus far for a lot of people, even in like very high risk areas. Like some people work in Washington, which is much higher risk right now than where we are. And a lot of them have taken the thing of like being able to telecommute, which is very fortunate to have as an option. But a lot of people still feel that pressure where it's like, unless a group of you go, you're the only one, you're going to be like, he or she is like the weaker one, or the one that needs the special, I don't know. Like there's this weird social pressure, which who knows how far that goes. I mean, it's a global pandemic, but And then the other aspect is I'm in the aviation industry, and like all this is affecting travel to a big level, and it's hot off of like already other travel related issues that have been coming up in the last year. And so it's like, man, I thought things were starting to like calm down and get okay, and now this is, putting another thing. It's like feeling those effects were like weeks and months later, and we're still feeling the effects of the prior stuff. So it's like, I wonder how that's going to be down the line, like in the work effect of like that. But how's your area been?
I used to joke about it. I still do, and I'm going to a coronavirus themed birthday party.
What?
On Sunday? Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm not hosting it. I'm not fucking hosting it.
Is this work related?
No, it's not work related.
Or anyone associated with in work?
No.
For this? Oh, wow. Okay.
No, it's a friend. But it wasn't serious until I heard the Joe Rogan podcast. He had some disease guy come on, and I was like, holy fuck, this shit is fucking really serious. A lot of people think, like what I learned was washing hands helps. You get it through breathing. He said the primary source of transmission is breathing, and a person cannot have symptoms and start breathing, and you'll contract it. And I was just like, fuck. And so he was saying that's why cruise ships are fucked a lot, because they just recirculate the air, and people are just breathing in that air, and cruise ships get it the worst. It wasn't until that, and after that's when the major cancellations started happening for big events. Yeah. So, and the guy in the podcast said this will probably affect us for months. Like, it depends on how we react to it, but he's like, depending on how like the US reacts to it, this is gonna affect probably the rest of 2020. And I was like, fuck, everything's canceled in 2020. So the Olympics are probably canceled. I mean, the NBA's canceled, NHL's canceled.
Yeah, I was seeing like these singular gathering event stuff, but then I was like, man, what about the theme parks that are running daily? And sure enough, like after like a day or two of like asking people about that, I saw today, Disneyland, Universal closing. And it's the first time Disneyland has closed
since 9/11.
Since 9/11, 4 times total ever. I was like, wow. Like, and it's not even like indefinitely. It's like just for this limited time till we know what's further. But
half a month.
Yeah, barely. Like, I'm like, that's so small. I don't know. I feel like it's small.
Lost revenue for everything, and just affects everyone. It's like a ripple effect.
There's like immediate effect, and then who knows, like just what it'll impact down the line. Like one of the big ones I know all three of us were saying was E3. That was the big one of the first ones that I think people saw. In the gaming kind of stuff, but like how are all these big things going to be, like the people that work those events, people that organize these things, the local communities affected by it?
I mean, I haven't still bought a ticket for WonderCon, but it's already said it's postponed.
Yeah, I didn't buy it just
obviously we do have tickets for Comic-Con. I don't know how that's going to work out for us.
The thing, so like when we're saying effect of it, like I can't, like, I mean, it's hard for me to imagine what's going to be happening in July.
Right.
So I don't know. Like, I feel like that's too far out to like say which way. But I feel like as an organizer with that big of a venue,
I feel like if Olympics get canceled, everything 100%. Gets canceled. If the Olympics get canceled, everything gets canceled.
That's got to be great. Like, that's just so wild. Like how much changes.
It is far out, but I'm gonna guess that Comic-Con will be canceled, and more than likely it'll just be postponed, or it'll be canceled till just next year.
What's funny? I feel like I don't know if it's gonna get canceled, but if Comic-Con gets canceled, I feel like Anime Expo, they're like, fuck it, we're just gonna ride or die. Like Anime Expo doesn't give a fuck. I feel like, hey, fuck it.
Bring your titty pillows.
It's a shitty play, but it's a play that I think could happen, or like in regards to that. Because if you think of like people, even though with this pandemic, people are still going to want to go out and probably display their cosplay, and they're still already working for their Comic-Con one. Sure. And if that gets canceled, people are like, you know what? I'm going to fucking anime. And if they as long as they don't cancel it,
I think the reason they will cancel, like, I think, like you said, if Olympics go, anything goes, but like, I don't think any company wants to be like, people died related to ours. or like their lives were put at risk. Like anything that just,
I'm just kidding. I don't know.
Just like as a company-wide thing, I'm like flag.
Yeah.
Like how hard is this? And like if with the more of them going, with the fewer of them holding out, I think they'll stand out more, and that'll be even worse.
Even if it's not the convention thing, the venue might be like, you know what, we're not huffing.
Yeah. We're like we don't want to.
There's one where like they announced. I think it was. Shoot, I don't remember which one it was. There was a convention saying like, you know, we couldn't do anything about it. We were keeping everything safe, but the venue did not want to host this event, and we had to cancel it. And I don't remember which one it was. Wow. But they're pretty much putting the whole blame on the venue. I'm like,
no one wants the accountability of it. But I think it's even crazy too, just thinking about like how each country, like going back to the global, like different countries are handling it differently, and because of their size and how their health systems are, I just like look at some like Italy and Iran and some of these places, it's just like a shit show. And you hear South Korea, how well they've handled it, and I'm like, man, we're fucking like we're behind, but like we're also large. Like I'm like, to do something like it's got to be like state coordinated, federally coordinated, like, and you know, many things can be said about the top of the top, like who's in charge and how they're handling it. Like
I think
it's just like
America on itself is a whole nother beast, or like the United States in general. Like we're so like separated in different like ideologies. Like we have huge amount of people that believe that like this is probably a hoax, this is just the government.
You're right, that's another point of like, where did this come from? How do you get it? Like all those
so
different...
like in Korea they have literally drive-through testing locations, but you don't, I mean, obviously I'm not from there, I don't have the news all the time from there, but I haven't heard a single case of someone saying like, you know, in Korea this is a hoax, this is just the government trying to scare us. Everyone's just been casually going through these drive-thrus, getting tested. They've quarantined it so well that it's like
just getting tested,
their cases have gone down. Like the amount of cases that they've seen,
even if it's not cured, like just saying tested, they can be like identified, and like that information of knowing does so much.
But the problem with Americans, I feel like if they're identified, they'll still break the quarantine. Just like fuck it.
Dude, we've had cases of people that were like, I don't know where it was. He was identified, was quarantined, still left, and like went to the mall. Went to the fucking mall. I was like, you know what? I've been tested positive for coronavirus. I'm gonna go to the mall. I'm gonna escape this fucking quarantine location. Go straight to the mall.
It's crazy seeing how like in different aspects of our environment, like world too. It's like you're seeing the work environment, you're seeing events and gatherings, education like has completely all, like I know universities, I think they're starting to make like
schools 3 weeks off.
Well, like grade schools, they're taking time off, but then also like what do they do after? Like, do we go full online? Do we have the capability to go full online? Like I think colleges have more infrastructure for that, but grade schools, it's like, and I used to think it was like because there was concern of the kids. The thing that's interesting to me is because of like the mortality rate of the different age groups, and it's, you know, hurting older and elderly people more. The faculty are like, you know, in so many reasons, you know, and for good reason, concerned. And it's like, wow, like it's crazy.
There was a Kotaku article about a professor scoffing at a student about teaching class on Twitch. I was like, that would have been cool. Like the professor doing the floss.
Well, yeah, and it's crazy. Is like what you can see is like we've had possible, like in a good way, but because of a bad reason of like, oh, companies can, like, who knows how well they can function, but they're possible to work if needed in telecommuting scenarios, like some companies. It's like, then that should be an option, like, because so many people like have different reasons, and it's like limited cases, and it's like that right now I saw today that AT&T removed all caps on data because now people are home, they need information, they you know, need access to stuff because they're just home and stuff, and they're like, we'll remove it.
Discord increased their like chat, like room chat
capacity, and it's like these limitations that have been set before are being, or were like, what was the reason for them?
Yeah,
like,
money.
Yeah, I mean, money is, but like they were like,
1.5 trillion. Like,
it's crazy. And yeah, the infrastructure of all this other stuff, it makes, like, I think the biggest thing I've taken out of this is like, you know, awareness of health, of like common things that people take for granted, like washing hands or like common etiquette, but then also like awareness of like the infrastructure and lack of and all these other things. You're like, whoa.
It reminds me of my previous topic, the apocalyptic scenario, where Stephen King said,
I really want
cold that kills 98%. But this is a good practice of what if there was something more dangerous?
Yeah.
And we fucking failed.
I have a question about that topic. I wonder where that clock is at.
Oh, I think it's the same. It hasn't changed. It should change, yeah.
I bet by end of year, it's moving in some direction. Shit. It's scary. I don't know. It's freaky. Like, I'm not at the point where I'm panicking and like you were saying, like mass purchasing a bunch of shit. But like, it's more of my concern. Like, oh, I was gonna see my family this weekend. I'm worried about them.
Yeah.
I don't want them. Like, I probably have been in contact, and I could be a carrier, and I don't even have the symptoms or whatever. I'm like, I'm just gonna like little things. Like, I'm gonna just stream a movie or play a game. I don't know. Like,
I mean, being in isolation, that's perfect for me. It doesn't change.
Yeah, how's been like you guys is like out of work, like the things you would normally do, like events we've said, you know, getting canceled, so we don't have really a choice. But
I mean,
you're streaming.
I mean, I need to go to LA on Saturday. I'm kind of scared. We're gonna go eat at a Korean restaurant on Saturday, so I'm kind of scared because Koreans, I mean, not to be xenophobic, but there's a lot of cases from Korea. What if someone traveled to America?
They did. One of the first deaths in California was reported. It was from either they were returning from travel or it was something, but they were elderly and they came. Yeah. For my travel, that was a big thing. You know, flights were empty.
Yeah.
It was milder crowds, but
what's crazy is I thought I had it because I've been sick twice. This is my second time being sick. Well, it's on the down phase, but I got sick twice, dude. And I was like, damn, do I have it? Did I beat it? I don't think so because I've never had a fever. Those two times.
That was one of the big symptoms.
Yeah, I didn't have a fever, so.
Okay.
And it wasn't a dry cough. It was wet.
I did notice like a lot of places were closing. Like we were trying to go to like a Walt Disney Museum. They're like, no, we're closed because of coronavirus, or because I mean it's a tourist location and everything.
Yeah.
My commute traffic is a lot less. And it's not like drastically less where it's like 2 a.m. freeways are empty, but like it's noticeably less. And it's kind of like, it's this weird, I mean, we always talk about like what the apocalypse looks like in science fiction, in fiction in general. And you're like, man, this is different. Like, but it's weird. It's similar and different at the same time. I don't know. This
is like another topic. If you can somehow get into Disneyland while it's closed and film, you get a lot of YouTube views.
Cats.
Someone did a post on Reddit where they were like, or on Twitter, where they're like, imagine you're quarantined and you're stuck on a roller coaster, and you have to be there for like years, and it's like you raise a child on, and all they know is the roller coaster.
I saw that shit.
I was like, what the fuck is this?
The Splash Mountain.
Yeah.
Was it? Yeah. So I worked at Disneyland for a year.
Yeah.
And my department had one. It was like this. Whoever has the least amount of like hazard issues, and we had 0. And so everyone cheats. So we did have it, but there were unreported events, you know. So we were at 0, and so we won. And the winner were able to get like, they closed a specific ride. It was a choice of the department. A ride at 8 when the park closed at midnight. You had from 8 to midnight. You could go on that ride as many times as you wanted. Wow. So we chose Space Mountain. And so I rode it for 2.5 hours straight. And every time was different. So we did it with all the lights on. We did all the lights off. We did it with like the regular music. We did it with Red Hot Chili Peppers music.
Damn.
At some point, one of the guys that worked the ride was like, "Hey, do you mind if I get in?" I'm like, "Yeah, go for it." Got in next to me. He's like, "Don't close the thing all the way." So we did like haphazardly.
Fucking wild Vargas, dude.
Yeah, and so he says like, there's cameras that just keep an eye obviously on people while they're on the ride. He's like, he's like, at this section, we stood up on the fucking ride, dude.
Bring back Wald Vargas now.
He's like, there's no cameras
Right
here.
now.
They won't.
Coronavirus
Yes.
requires Wild Vargas.
And yeah, so I can say I
Who is this guy?
stood up on that ride. Yeah, so it was really cool. You get fucking dizzy. You get like, there's people that couldn't do it more than like 3 times in a row.
Did you jump off it while I was moving too?
I was scared shitless, dude.
Apparently
I was
not.
like, my butt was clenched. She's like, no. I'm like, oh, what do you want me to do?
Here's a question.
So scared.
You're like playing like.
If you were still in that position in Disneyland, those 2 weeks that they're closed, would you get paid for those 2 weeks?
I don't know. The way everything seems, I don't think I would have gotten paid.
I don't think people are going to get paid those 2 weeks.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That is a lot. A lot of fucking workers.
Especially that's your full-time job? Fuck.
There's a lot of workers.
I heard something about like unemployment being offered in case like in some states, if you don't have like paid sick time or something.
I remember working there, like they had gone through like a lawsuit for like workers, and it was either get like a lump sum bonus, and I was like, yes, because I'm not going to be here forever. I know I'm leaving within a year, or a raise, and I'm like, no raise. I don't need fucking like 10-cent raise. I'm only going to be here. I got the fucking raise, dude. God damn.
What the?
Fucking
That's
not Wild Vargas.
Yeah, that's not
You
Wild.
stopped.
No, maybe that is Wald Vargas. He's like,
Fucking come at me.
I didn't get to choose. It was like a majority vote, and they voted for the raise when I wanted the lump sum money because I knew that would have been more in the long run for me. But can't always have your way.
Did Wild Vargas ever play Russian roulette? I feel like Wild Vargas
Dance with the devil in the pale moonlight.
I'm 32 years old. There's been a lot that's happened in my life.
Yeah.
A lot.
we need to see the wild part. So.
Bring him back. Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know.
What do you think 2021? Like,
Can we skip to go ahead?
Canceled?
2021
back to normal?
No,
I think we'll see events come back. I don't know about back to normal.
I think back to normal. I think 2021, dude. This will be. We'll talk about this like it's like SARS. Like it'll
to be
just
honest,
be another fucking.
I think E3's done. I don't think it's
Really?
It says it's scheduled for 2021.
I think it'll evolve, is what I think. I think a lot of companies like Microsoft was still was prior to this Corona concerns still planning to be there. Other events like. I know that they host off-site like activities like EA Play, Bethesda's thing, and all that stuff, but their press conferences were still like scheduled with E3 in mind, even if it wasn't directly with E3. So I feel like it might go more virtual, like we had talked about.
B3 canceled?
B3? I mean, I think so.
And EA Plays canceled?
Anything LA, like if Disneyland and WonderCon are canceled, I think all this, and E3, I think everything else is less, like, gonna definitely go. But just like, I think E3 might like restructure some things because there were people like, in terms of the press, they were having issues because of leaks of information of people that of attendees, and they're like, this is my personal information you just let out. So I think infrastructure-wise, people were frustrated. I Am 8-Bit and Jeff Keighley both left it because of like internal issues with like how it's being run and managed.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
I Am 8-Bit is like the Coliseum thing that they do is put together by I Am 8-Bit, and Jeff Keighley is the host of that section where it's like panels and they talk to people, and they like Keighley, he's like, I'm not going to be at E3 this year, and people are like, oh, and then like 2 weeks before all this Corona stuff happened, I Am 8-Bit sent out an email like, we're not going to be a part of E3 this year. And I didn't realize what they were a part of until later. I was listening to some stuff say like they are the ones that no, not the show floor, the Coliseum thing.
Okay, I saw maybe a tweet, but I thought it was in regards to the coronavirus whole thing because I thought they knew.
I'm sure it could have been involved, but like I think E3 could still be like, we know we have a use because there's still a lot of in-person stuff that happens with indie people, with networking, and I'm hoping that they're aware of that and they're like, okay, we're going to cater more and pivot maybe, but I don't think it'll be the same. I agree in that part. So I don't know. I think a lot of other things are going to try and go back to normal as best they can, but like you said, the ramifications of this.
Coachella, fuck, that's huge.
What is it?
Postponed?
EDM or EDC?
EDC.
That one's
I don't know.
probably going to be canceled. Burning Man. They're probably. I could see this.
The thing is, Burning Man would be a place that like it would spread like wildfire.
Contained.
I mean,
Just
it would
put a
be
fire around
a contained wildfire.
I mean, they're there for a week. Just extend Burning Man. Be like, you guys get Burning Man.
Naked, fucking bodily fluids touching each
You know
other.
who'd be at Burning Man? Wild Vegas.
Yeah, he would.
Just say.
And he would decide to go the day before. Like, guys, let's go to the Burning Man.
How wild can I get? This wild.
Check out our next episode. Yeah, I don't know. Next year's going to be... I mean, the Olympic thing. Like, I feel like things that don't happen, annually... Are they going to be pushed into that year? Like, will that affect things?
That sucks for the Olympics. If the Olympics get canceled, just everyone that worked for this fucking moment. Like, if you were an Olympic trainer, would you train as hard now? Like,
well, some people are like, it's their last year or something. Like, they're going to peak, and because they're so crazy and strong.
Well, I mean, I'm sure, like, as an athlete, they probably, no matter what the decision is, they will continue to work.
Right, but I'm just saying, like, some events, like, I think gymnastics, some of those, they're like, you're a hair over,
last year
you're
for
a hair, like, limitations, yeah, but I'm just saying, like, the coaches might be like, you're too old now.
You're 24.
Like,
it's too late.
Fuck off. Like that kind of, but then I'm thinking also, like, all the manufacturing that's done, like, China was the first one to be impacted because of, I mean, that's the source, but like all the manufacturing for Xbox and for iPhones and for PlayStation 5. Like,
well, I was reading Xbox doesn't have an issue because it's all like done in America.
They have other locations probably, or maybe mostly
I
America.
feel like parts of what they do here are sourced out of there, though.
But so many different electronic companies have integral parts that are made in areas where this was like hit first.
Dude, right
so
now,
like, how does that pivot?
I think a huge commodity is stainless steel. Yeah. That is holy fuck, dude. Anything stainless steel related at my work, we don't have anything of right now. Yeah. And people are like, when do you get it?
Self-cured fucking virus first.
Dude, I told him, like, honest, I'm like, dude, this is,
when's Half-Life 3 coming out? That's
virus scare is affecting both shipping times and certain distributions of the product, and stainless steel is one of them. I do not have an ETA of when it's going to come in. But like, how do you ask me when I'm going to get it, bro? Like, everyone's trying to get this shit right now, dude.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
But like you're saying, like, will it go back next year? I think a lot of these effects will bleed into that year, and we're going to see things trying to like go back to normal, but it's still crazy. This is an election year too, on top of all this shit. Like, how's that gonna shift or not shift, and like people's reaction to that?
It doesn't matter because Biden doesn't know where he's at right now.
What was people used to think 2012 was like the end of the world?
The Y2K.
Mayan calendar?
Yeah, that's what it was. 2012 people thought end of the Mayan calendar. That's what it was.
2000 Y2K.
Yeah, 2000.
2020.
Yeah, 2020's been fucking. It's only
World War III in January. Something else happened, right?
Kobe.
I mean, like global. Like there was that World War III scare. Like people were like trending. There was something else. There was another scare before coronavirus.
I don't remember.
Fuck. I have to look it up.
So much has happened.
Yeah, it was March. Give us Animal Crossing.
I know, right? Release it.
Yeah.
Reggie joins GameStop.
Oh my god. What?
What's happening?
420? Nah, 320.
I use time turners. That's what it's the darkest timeline. Yeah.
I mean, I've been washing my hands longer than normal, but I'm not doing 2 happy birthdays. That's too long. But I can't. I just keep on touching my face.
Dude, that's the one thing. I'm like,
I can tell you right now, I've done it 16 times already.
You're counting
right now. Rub the shit out of my face.
I touch it with a cloth. I don't think that helps. I mean, it probably makes it worse.
Well, because you're touching it with the same spot again. That's where you fuck up.
I'm itchy. My stream. I'm itchy.
Hi, everybody. All right.
Move on to the next one.
Sure.
Which is
my topic. Going back to Call of Duty, I started playing it. It's not Activision's first battle royale. They've actually done a prior Call of Duty battle royale, Blackout, which is more much more like how other ones were, where it's like
when the power goes out, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
this when power goes out. You drop in, you spec your guns, you can add mods and all that stuff. I think it had a lot of similarities with Apex more than anything else.
Right.
But the thing is, Warzone came out, and it just like literally like Monday, it was like trailer comes out, and then they're like, oh, it's gonna be out in a day or something or two.
#1 game on Twitch.
Yep. And it's like people are playing, and it's like their new version of Battle Royale. The other thing I didn't realize was that Blackout was you had to buy the whatever that game was, Black Ops. Whatever the last one was. This one, free to play. Fully. You don't need anything. You can jump in. Even on consoles, you don't need Xbox Live or PlayStation Plus.
Wow.
No. You need Xbox Live. You don't need PlayStation Plus.
I have a question. Is there a regular game associated with this?
No. This is standalone. On its own.
There wasn't like a
Blackout
game?
was the one where it was Black Ops and Blackout was a
But
part.
isn't there a Call of Duty game that just came out? Like a single, like, well, it was a multiplayer one.
Call of Duty.
Yeah, they redid the Call of Duty as just Call of Duty.
Yeah. That was a single player campaign with like Price and all those people, like the people from Modern Warfare.
Because I was reading that you can still buy this free game.
So free. Yeah, it's free, but there's battle passes that you can get. It's completely free.
There's no like single player to it if you pay or something like that.
There's no single player.
Okay.
It has characters that are
Trying
tied
to kill Tarkov. That's why they were developing this.
Tarkov killed itself, dude. I was reading.
No escape.
I was trying to find fucking topics, and I looked on Reddit, and there is like a whole thing about people. Tarkov is not refunding money. Like if people are like, because it's a pre-order of a game.
Oh yeah,
where, like,
you cannot refund it.
And so there's like a report that Tarkov, like if you send in a thing to cancel your game, they will not refund you, and then they'll stop that like account from being able to play. So it's like you can't play, and they're not refunding you. And they're like, this is like illegal shit. And like I started reading into it, and they're like, there's so many issues with it. There's like a glitch where like while you're alive, somehow a guy can loot your body. So the guy, like there's a video of a guy like with his best gun, and it's just like whoosh, and it's gone. And he's like, what the? And he like goes in his menu, and the gun's gone. And he's like, dude, someone's looting my body while I'm alive.
You know who would still play Tarkov? Wild Vargas. I'm a wild boy.
I had a glitched issue happen, and it completely turned me off of that.
Right. So anyway, this Warzone, by the way, I should say it's in beta. So this isn't like it's out, but it is out. It's fully playable. Like it's not like when I tried
It's
it.
soloed, right?
You can.
Oh, you can?
So what I found out when I first started playing, I have a funny story too. When I first started playing, it loads up 150 players. You get into squads of 3.
Wow.
There's an airdrop ship. You pick your spots you want to drop.
Friendly fire?
No. You pick your squad of 3. You go. If you're not with a group, it pairs you up with people. I was looking. I was like, this guy. I've heard people saying like solo. It's harder or whatever. You can literally just say, "Don't fill my squad," and so you're still going to be playing with people that
Shroud mode.
It's Fortnite.
You can choose to go against squads, but a lot of people will go solo because they don't want the mics, they don't want the coordination or stealing. They just want to run.
That's me.
And you can. It's totally viable. Like
To still not win.
well, no. There's a lot of different.
Unless you're Shroud.
There's a lot of different Yeah, it's like a pride point, but it's also like. The way the mechanics of it work, and I kind of want to go over some of the stuff, but also like if you have questions, you guys haven't played it, right?
I saw a 1 minute highlight video. It's very interesting. So you might have to correct me.
Okay.
What happens is if you get killed, you get into this room where it's a 1v1 situation.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
The winner revives.
Yeah.
You re-drop out. So let's say you're in a squad, you get taken out. I was like, oh fuck, I'm out. I'm just gonna skip. I don't want to spectate. All of a sudden, my body's getting dragged into a prison, and it's like fight. Your fight's next, and you're like upstairs watching a prison fight. It's like your fight's next, and then you get a pistol, you get a grenade, and you get 30 seconds. So if like guys don't go after each other, a flag shows up in the middle, and whoever gets it is the winner. But you literally go pop, 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 and then you're like, all right. Drop back down, and you're out again.
I think that's cool.
If you die again, it doesn't happen.
I don't think it happens a second time.
Okay.
Every time
I haven't even survived.
yeah, every time I try, it's like not working. So, I'm not very good at that part, but I'm like, whoa, this is really cool. I know I did it once. I got through once, and I was like, what? I'm back alive, and then I died right as I parachuted in.
Oh, and you can. So I was watching Nade Shot play, and he parachute. You could just cut off the parachute,
but you can drop it. You can pick it up again.
Yeah, and then he saw someone, sniped him. He's like, I still got it with a crossbow, and he sniped him. Some dude dropping with a parachute. He's like, I still got it because he's retired. Yeah, and I was like, oh
damn.
Yeah, it made me interested. I was like, this looks fun, but I can't play. I'm on a route.
No, totally, yeah.
I was like, fuck.
But like, I was curious, given that I've just been playing Fortnite, I just played a little bit more Apex. I was like, you know what? While I'm on this kick, I want to just explore it, and then in a broader scope, be like, what does it offer? What does it do different? What does it change? Like, what will this forecast into Battle Royale or just Call of Duty? And like, so some of the other things I wrote down quickly was there's bounties in the game. Okay. So you pick up cash, and like you can pick up like, all right, if you complete this whatever mission in this map, you'll get a big amount of cash, or you'll get something that you could then use. So cash is then used at certain locations to either buy perks, to buy like what are they called, like the airstrikes, or you know how the perks are in Call of Duty multiplayer, where it's like, oh, you get 3 kills, you like that. Those things are done through purchases with cash, or you could buy turrets for yourself, or random perks and stuff. Special loadouts, so you'd be like, oh, I got this money, I want to buy like this full loadout of like rocket launcher, shotgun, and like all the specs. The ping system is there, much like Apex. So the health and armor, health regens. Armor doesn't. Armor is, you get 3 plates maximum that you can apply to yourself. You know how like Fortnite and Apex, do you do the shield or you drink the health? Your health will always regen apparently, but the plates can go, but they're like fucking everywhere. You'll see like an abundance of those things. But what's interesting with that part is like, I'm like, why would they do it? And I was watching some videos and they were saying it puts the emphasis more on like getting back. You're not playing cautiously as much anymore. You're getting back to the full momentum of things, and it keeps the high pace. Like Call of Duty always has that fast pace to it, and it puts that focus on the fast pace, and also like people just positioning to just like get the drop. So like even if you're at full health and I'm at full health, if I got the drop on you, then I'm going to get you.
Something similar, like because I recently was playing Destiny, where it has the shield and then the health, they both recharge. There's times where like they like I'm shooting him, he's like down to like 1 shot left, and he like goes around the corner. I'm like, fuck, and he's just gonna heal up again. So I like immediately sprint to put pressure on him, and so that's something that I probably would, or that's what they're focusing on.
And so they, in addition to the regular battle royale, there's one other mode that's different, but it's sort of like casual, I would say. It's called Plunder, and what that is you play solo or squad, same thing. And it's the first solo or squad to get $1 million in cash in the thing. And the way you get the $1 million is much like the rest. You're looting, you get the money, but every player, it doesn't count that money until you deposit it at deposit locations. And you can lose it. You can die as many times as you want, like respawning, but every time you die and respawn, you lose half your money that you've earned.
Yeah.
So it's just a race. The thing I've heard as a gripe against that is like the match can go very long, and it can get stale. So, and I was looking at like, okay, this is what that. So that's the main gist of like the differences.
The one change I would change to Plunder, I don't know if that's a thing or not, is the portion you lose can be picked up by the person that killed you.
I'm wondering if that's a thing. Like if like they just loot your body or something.
Are there dances or victory things?
There's no victory things. It's just like this or there's none of that. There's, I think, paint you can do. I think the most customization is to your emblem name, which is its typical Call of Duty thing, and your guns. Those two are for sure, but
penis, like
people are like makeshifting.
Black Ops
is the creative artists of Call of Duty. But like the variances, I agree. Like Fortnite always has these events and variances and things going on, and I don't know what Call of Duty would do to compare to that, like long term. Like,
I don't know. I think it can be its own thing because
Yeah.
a lot of players that like consider like themselves gamers that play like like Madden or play just Call of Duty games in general, they'll be like, this is the game I've been looking for. Like a game that doesn't look like a kid's game, and so
Sure.
like, I think it has its own thing because I think I read that like the first day 6 million players or some shit like that.
I mean, it's a big download file too. Just heads up.
You retweeted something or liked something. Some dude is on a Jeep, runs the dude over.
Oh.
The guy gets down and he's self-reviving, but he's still on the Jeep, and then he self-revives. It's like, and then this dude deleted his game. Like, I was like, that
One of the items is a self-revive kit. I've seen some at 1G on stream using it. I was like, what the fuck? You can revive yourself? And then, yeah, that was the funniest.
Because the guy's just driving. He's like, oh, I killed this guy. And he's like self-reviving.
So he like got hit, got stuck on the truck.
He got hit, and like it didn't do full physics, but like it knocked him on top of the thing. It bounced him up, and he landed. And the guy's still driving, his body's just like there. And he's like,
And the guy's just like, hee 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 hee.
and he's like, the truck just goes.
I just sent you to the prison.
The thing is, like, more than likely, because it's like a new game, the guy had no clue what that guy was doing. Like, he had that thing, but he's probably like playing. Dice is like, this game fucking sucks. Like, not knowing, he's thinking like it just glitched down. He didn't die or
It
something.
is full crossplay between PlayStation, Xbox, and PC.
Nice.
And it shows, like, when you're loading up into 150, it shows whether you're playing through Steam, through Battle.net, because of Activision, or through your controller. It shows like a little controller, a mouse icon.
I used to think mouse and keyboard was superior. Dude, aim assist for controllers
They're
have
changing that in
dominated.
Fortnite. I don't know if it's already changed.
Some games, yeah, if aim assist is
There's a
crazy.
joke video where like a guy's playing with his mouse and keyboard, and he's literally like every shot he's missing. He's like, hold on, guys.
Wow,
Grabs
okay.
the controller, so like it make like it flawlessly switches to the controller, and he just like he aims through like the cornfield, and it's like click, and it gets stuck. He's like, all right, and he just like every hits. It was funny.
I would have just done that, but have the mouse as my foot. It's like,
dude, 200 IQ. Yeah. So the interesting thing I didn't think about, and I was again reading up on this, was how this is changing the Call of Duty branding, because they said that they're still going to be releasing a game this year, like they do like their single player campaigns. They wanted to have this as a free to play, constantly evolving base game that's anyone can jump in and play, and they have the microtransaction. Like if it's successful, which Call of Duty has been, there was like a thing of like 2010 to 2020, the top games of every year, and Call of Duty was like 8 of them or something.
The thing is, too, it's like their turnaround rate with these things is a lot of the assets are reused.
Yeah.
It's super quick to pump it out because it's like almost every year it's a brand new fucking game that comes out.
It's like a Madden or something.
Yeah, dude.
And so they're already making profits with their current model, but like if they have this, it's free, but the microtransactions bring in the passes and stuff.
Money.
And then they go and they do a separate thing as for their campaign as a standalone game, which people are still buying, and they're hoping will continue. Have they just doubled their profits? And like they've expanded. Like now we have a Call of Duty like franchise, like not just like we have Black Ops and we have Modern Warfare or whatever. But like, will they do other genres? Will they like just keep spreading out like modes? Like I know that they've done the zombie mode as a part of the game. Will that be a separate thing altogether now? Like potentially. Like do they just keep expanding this or not? I'm like, that's crazy. Like how they could have multiple revenues in this franchise.
what trips me out is Blackout barely just came out.
Yeah.
They made this. I
Yeah.
think Blackout was the prototype or something. They just wanted to test something.
It's still out. I mean, but the thing, I think the big barrier was that you had to buy it. And even then people were like playing it a lot and stuff. I don't know.
This isn't replacing Blackout because I went to the Blizzard thing, and it's the Blackout section now. It's just Modern Warfare.
No.
Click on it
There's
and
Call of Duty,
Yeah.
and then there's Blackout.
Okay.
Call of Duty, if you go to it, when you install it, It's the installer for the campaign and for the Warzone or whatever.
Oh, okay.
But when you open it, because you've only installed Warzone, the other two will be like, oh, do you want to install these later?
Oh, gotcha.
And you can like side tab it, but like you'll just stay.
Yeah, I guess they updated it to where at least it only shows the one, and it's like install. I'm like, no, no, thank you.
But I don't know, it's wild. It's another one.
I know a lot of these battle royales are very, very similar, taking from each other's things. But two things that stand out is the don't fill option. That's something that is available in Fortnite.
What's funny is Fortnite, isn't it like if you're playing solo, you're playing against everyone else that's solo?
Yeah. Or you can do squads and you have the option don't fill.
Oh.
And you literally can play on your own.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
You can do that.
Yeah.
Duos too, you could do that.
I didn't know. Okay.
Yeah.
So they borrowed that, and the ping from
And then
Apex.
the ping from Apex, yeah.
I think it's more like Apex with the shooting. I mean, it's a Call of Duty style shooter, so you see all the
You feel the way that game feels in general, yeah.
But like you got Apex with its hero shooting, so like you got each hero has different abilities and everything. I tried, like, what's funny is I've been playing Apex so much, I tried to slide, and I was like, man, he slided like a foot. Like, this is weird. And I tried running off, I'm like, I could climb this wall. So my funny story, when you think of Call of Duty multiplayer, what comes to mind?
The perks, like the kill streak perks.
Anything else? I'll give a few more guesses.
The hit indicators?
The noob tube.
Think like experience, not just the game.
Just die and respawn, die and respawn.
Do you ever think of like the chat?
Oh, kids?
No, really. No.
So, one of my first games, I joined, and I was like, I was just gonna either play me solo or queue me up or whatever, because I didn't know where to find the difference. All of a sudden, I'm joined up, and like my mic just goes, poof, and I didn't have a mic on. I just had my headphones on. And it's two people just arguing. I'm like, did I join a game where like these two don't like get along, or one of them's trolling the other one and he's just baiting it? They know each other, and I'm like, the game. So we survived as a team for 30 minutes. I was like, we did pretty good. 30 minutes nonstop arguing about one thing: our tunnels walls. They went back and forth, and they were going at a fast pace. Like, bro, dude, tunnels are not walls.
Hey,
and he's like,
Prime, what do you think?
I was never acknowledged at all. They were just like, dude, tunnels are not walls. He's like, tunnels are walls, bro. What the fuck are you smoking? Like, back and forth. Just, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, where are they pinging? Are they pinging?
Hey, can we go into that wall over there? No, that's a tunnel, bro. Like, what the?
And like every other word was the thing. No, not bruh.
Ginger.
No. What? Yeah, sort of. What Denzel says in Training Day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every tunnels are not walls. He's like, dude, how is your girlfriend still with you? You are the dumbest fuck ever. Tunnels are walls. Like, what do you think keeps the water? Like, an underwater tunnel isn't a wall to keep the water? And I was like, after 25 minutes, I was like,
good argument. He's like, wait a minute.
I was like, are tunnels walls? Like, what?
I see what he's saying now. The fact that he said that, it's a wall that's curved.
They were for 30 minutes how passionately they were arguing about it. I was like tired. I was
going to bring that up in chat. Tunnels walls.
I was laughing my ass off. I was like, this is Call of Duty. This is what I haven't played a Call of Duty game forever.
Dude, that guy, he's looking at the bigger picture. So
they were both like, they got personal. They got real personal. It's like, your family fucking disown you. You don't understand the difference to a tunnel or wall. You dumb like just escalating. I was like,
that should be a podcast topic. Or tunnels wall.
Laurel
Yanni.
See, like, this is a wall. And now it's a tunnel, bro.
How do you two people? And I'm like, what is going on? And I was like, oh, I got a kill. And then like, shit. Yeah, it was so weird.
I got a kill in the tunnel wall.
Tunnel wall. Wait, are you on the wall or in the tunnel? Yes.
Never acknowledged me once. I was just, it was the funniest thing. I was like, what is going on? So, I don't know. Like, I was just thinking, this game, its place in the Battle Royale, its place in games, like, because Call of Duty oftentimes is, like, AAA. It's maybe, if not trend-setting, it's popular. I mean, we were talking about, like, decades, just the impact it's had. So I wonder what tone this sets for, like, the next decade of Call of Duty and Activision. Like, Are they good? Could you see them doing a third-person shooter, for instance? Like other types of shooters. I think they're going to...
I could see like a Rainbow Siege.
Like
maybe
a tactical?
jump on that bandwagon.
I could see that.
Counter-Strike.
Yeah. Because, that's a market they haven't really gone into, so who knows? Because they did, they started with... It was them versus Battlefield for the longest time, and they started being like, oh, we're going to start doing bigger scale maps, and, like, destructive stuff, and... I don't think they continued with that too much.
And then they did some weird space stuff, like Halo and like wannabe Halo, and then
Halo and
went back to what works.
So crazy.
I think it's funner than Fortnite.
It's different. Fortnite, I mean... I
think Fortnite has the costumes and the fucking dances, and that's what will separate it.
Fortnite feels like a playground where, like, anytime I come back... It could be a different game, but it's still the same base game.
I'm predicting it right now. Like, you know how like this came out of nowhere? Fortnite's coming out. You know how the cryptic tweets? October. They're going to bring out something crazy. Not Fortnite. Like Fortnite World.
For Halloween.
So your kitty titties costume. Ready Player One, dude. You start dancing.
Flex the chest. I think I could see them doing that for sure.
VR.
VR is something I could see them doing too.
Wow.
But I don't think they'll do it until it's very accessible.
It's funny because like CDN the Third, he hasn't gone to Fortnite in a while, but when he did go back to it, like people are good now. So he get out, but like, oh, sick 90s kid. Like he just runs away. Sick 90s kid.
You don't have to build to win.
You have to run away.
You never see a structure whenever you win.
Oh my gosh, dude.
So, interesting stuff. That's my topic.
Cool. We'll move on to mine. Mine is PS5 related. So, there's a recent article. Head of Sony Worldwide Studios has confirmed that the PlayStation 5 will focus on quality exclusives, which that's already important. But anyways, the following thing, the narrative-driven single-player games. So it's going to focus on single-player games. At a time where, like, we're seeing, it seems like multiplayer is what's taking off. We've got all of the Battle Royale games that are coming out. Yeah, I mean...
Riot games.
Yeah, a lot of those, like, MMO style or like Riot, like League of Legends and all that stuff. Do you think this is kind of like... Obviously, this is for a future. Like, do you think this is a positive thing for PS5? Do you think this is something that's good for them to focus on?
Well, so in that article, they're talking about the focus on single player narrative, like first party, or are they talking about like just catering?
Well, it's in line with quality exclusives.
Okay,
so more than likely first party. Or
so with that, like that was what I was thinking. I think. There's plenty of other companies that aren't Sony or first party or second party that are really playing to the not narrative, to the not single player. And I don't think, like when you want to do multiplayer, the biggest thing like Fortnite cracked it, and everyone like all these other games have also been doing it. It's been, is your game multiplayer? Yes. Is it crossplay?
No.
Yes or no, and that's where people that's where it's like they're pushing the barriers just to blend more cross save, and I'm like, okay, what does Sony have that they can keep? And it's the exclusives, and those are the narratives. They're like, we don't have to interact with anything if they're narrative.
We'll have to fight our customers if we make it a multiplayer game because they'll want to crossplay.
So yeah, and then like if they make them on the level of God of War or Spider-Man or Last of Us and those games,
or Infamous,
yeah, and like. If they're at that caliber, there won't be a question of like, or Horizon Zero Dawn, like where like why can't I connect this to, that's not even an issue. It's not even a concern. Like you don't look as fun as it may be for Last of Us. Like I remember you played multiplayer. I don't think that was what everyone remembered from it. Mm-hmm. Like it was like that was extra.
Yeah.
But like if they can offer that, then they're like, oh, I can get that other stuff elsewhere for free or for whatever other cheap prices. So I think that makes sense to me.
I completely agree with you. That's something I was going to bring up. Like, dude, if their idea of single player driven games or single player quality story driven games if we're looking at like the older games like Ico, you know, Shadow Colossus, these are games that were single player. These were obviously their own story. They were confined. There's no multiplayer involved. If there's something that they're focusing on, I'm all for it. And yeah, if it's their own, like, if this is what they're focusing on, obviously there's third party stuff that'll always be on the system.
And there's going to be the Cyberpunks. There's going to be the Red Deads that are, I mean, third party, but if they can confidently rely on their own stable of in-house major games like that, then it's like, this is why you're coming to PlayStation. So
yeah, I think that would be a really good choice. I just hope that, like, if they do go this route, that it is positive for them. Like they see the benefit, and it doesn't it doesn't make them like decide to go like a completely different route that just like changes everything up.
Well, Jang, what do you think?
It's kind of weird because the previous generation, not this generation, like exclusivity didn't really exist, even though they said it was exclusive. For example, like Resident Evil 4, GameCube exclusive, and then you see it go to the PS2 and all these other Wii, all these other.
But it's like, it seems like it's like a time exclusive.
Yeah. Even though they said it was exclusive, console exclusive, but like Sony, they're like sticking to it. Like, I mean, besides Horizon went to PC.
Well, I think. Go ahead.
I mean,
that's a big.
They've stuck to their guns. Like, hey, this is console exclusive. Bloodborne's not going anywhere. Last of Us is not going anywhere. God of War, Spider-Man's not going anywhere. Like,
I think what they're gonna do with what you're saying about like Horizon being on PC, I think they are opening up to streaming and allowing it on PC. Like, did they say how it's available on PC? Because I'm pretty sure it's going to be through like some PlayStation service, like they've had Now and some of these other remote access things. I think they're going to have their own version of like maybe a streaming platform, or like how Xbox, what are they going to do? The xCloud?
Oh yeah.
I think they're going to have their version of that, but it's going to be only on like. You have to go through their service to do it.
I just saw
so it still builds off of that platform. It's like you can play your thing on other hardware, but it's going to be a Sony. Like, you're going to need a Sony account. You're going to need a Sony
game client. Is that what you're telling me? Oh god, this is fucking. Oh my god.
Well, I'm saying like you're going to need like their PlayStation Plus service. It's going to be like if you don't have the Plus service that you pay for,
just Death Stranding is going to be on Epic Store. Right?
Oh, that's where. Okay,
is it right? I think it is. Right? I don't know.
I'm not
positive. I'm not positive.
I didn't know where Horizon was. I thought, isn't Kojima Productions? That's its own studio, right? They were just. I didn't know.
I don't know. I'm not sure. I think it's on Epic Store.
Okay.
I think
only the announcement for Horizon Zero Dawn has happened. I don't know if it's a store has been announced for it, like where it's going to be. And I also haven't looked into where Death Stranding, because I don't plan on getting it for PC.
Do you think other first-party games are going to go to PC?
Bloodborne.
I hope so.
I think
mods, dude. Woody.
I think
Thomas the Ticket.
I think a time exclusive is perfectly fine. I don't think a permanent exclusive is ever a good idea, because obviously there's certain things to that. Like if it's a Sony like company, they're gonna keep it exclusive no matter what. They don't even have to pay shit for that. Like, it's all part of like the fact that they own that company. But like, I want the developers to be able to have the money to have the creativity to create great games. And if they're exclusive, they're getting money for that game, but I feel like it really just kind of covers to make that one game. If you want it, you got to open it up to different consoles to create the money to have the creativity to make a new game after that, you know? I don't know, because it seems like the culture within gaming is just...
I don't know. I still see a market for like exclusivity, just because I don't think we're ever gonna see like a PC Mario game, for instance.
Oh, well, that's Nintendo. That's his whole nother beast.
But like,
that's a whole nother beast.
It's a donkey.
Hey, Reggie's in GameStop now, so anything's possible.
Shit.
So I did see Horizon Zero Dawn is looking like it'll be on Steam and Epic. Okay. So not like on any one store.
Mods.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, that's gonna be real good, dude. Dude, I want a Turok mod. Dang, just like fucking fucking dinosaur skins.
But I still see them having some sort of exclusivity. I think it's going to be, it's like how Xbox has done it, where it's like Xbox and PC. And then more like your streaming service or your streaming platform. I think they're going to do a similar thing where you're going to see it, but you're not going to see it on an Xbox console or through an Xbox account or through a Nintendo console, Nintendo account. I think that's too soon for PlayStation.
Yeah.
Just because they're just so proud of their name and like they have no reason to give that up. Like the single player, like I said. But the other stuff, I think, as long as they allow for cross-play, cross-save, whatever progression, then that's leaving a lot of doors open because those are like, oh, I can play with my friends here, I can go here.
I think there's the fear too. Like someone was like, I think it was making a mocking comment, but they were saying like, without exclusivity, there wouldn't be nobody would want to buy a console game, and it's a screenshot of his PS4 with like Horizon Zero Dawn, which was supposed to be PS4, Monster Hunter, which is now going to PC or is on PC. Resident Evil, which is also on PC. Like it was different games that like are no longer just PS4. They're either other consoles or it's on PC as well. And it's like, I own this console. I have all these games that are, that are no longer exclusive. Like it doesn't matter. Like people are still going to buy a console.
I think, I mean, people buy consoles for so many different reasons. They buy it because all their other friends already have that one. They're like, oh, I want to go play with them. They're over there. Played there. Other people buy it, be like, hey, what games can I only get on this one? And like, I've done that. I know.
I think people buy consoles mainly because PCs are expensive.
And it's confusing.
Yeah,
I would say
just like I have this box, it's set up, I go.
I think that's the biggest thing is the price. And how confusing it could get for a PC. I think consoles will always stay.
But like against other consoles, like what makes you buy one over the other is where your friends play, what games you play. Like, are you playing any console exclusive? Yeah. Because I keep hearing like Xbox One X, if you're not playing anything exclusive, that's the place to play it because of how well, like that versus the Pro on the same games are like way better. So it's like, okay, if I'm playing a game that I could play on either, then I might be more inclined to go there because it might because Xbox is always doing sales, there's deals. Maybe I'm like, I only want a handful of games, then I might want a PS Slim, and it's because it's so cheap. Maybe I want Game Pass because I pay $10 and I can play fucking every game in the fucking world. I mean, there's so many different reasons to go one or the other. It's like, I don't know. I don't think any one reason is going to drive everyone, but I think a big thing that Sony has that Xbox doesn't is that library of like first party, second party, just like top-notch quality games.
And with them saying that they're going to focus on single player games, I do think that a majority, if not all of them, will be like exclusives. It's going to be like their own studios that they obviously have that are going to be working on these. I don't know. I think it's good.
And I think it's also, I mean, this is me being hopeful, but like when you're a first party or second party studio for games, I feel like they allow you to like take your time, make the game, because we know how good you are. You make these games to the caliber that make everyone know how good you are. And that opens doors to like, we don't need to like annualize games. We don't need to sequel. Like some games get sequels, like the Uncharted's and these other ones. But other games, you're like, this is like the people that made Killzone, the Horizon, the Guerrilla Games guys, totally new IP for Horizon Zero Dawn. So like seeing these fresh new games, like I think that first party kind of thing allows for cooler new ideas. It's like, okay, I got like 30 Call of Duties, but like you guys give me like these things I've never seen before.
Do you think we'll see a Hideo Kojima single player PS5 game?
Yeah.
He's making one right now, I think.
Yeah.
Really? I haven't really seen anything.
We got early
It's
copy.
a horror game.
Is it supposed to be similar to like Silent Hill? Is it supposed to be like Kojima Hentai? What's I guess talking on just single player, what is a game you guys would like?
You know.
Bloodborne 2.
Amen. Oh yeah.
Is there like certain game style, game type that you'd like to see?
I mean the I don't know how to say it. It's like granted narrative, but I like more the style of how God of War was. And I would say even more into the Bloodborne, like really into the RPG stuff. I think like The Last of Us narratively and Uncharted narratively, like cinematic, crazy. But like there's so many things, like I want to upgrade things. I want to like tweak things. I want to go through. I still want that gameness to it.
Exact same boat you're in. I want like that RPG
Horizon
element. But I want the fluidity of a combat style to be like Monster Hunter, where like, dude, you see like butter smooth, like, you know, like there's people will do animations where like they duck and like the fucking tail goes right over their head, and it's like, right. I want that shit. I want a game where
some
like,
high legend.
That guy, fucking artist.
I want a game where the fighting is like that. Like it's as good as I am of a player is as good as I can do, or like, you know, take monsters out.
Yeah.
Like it's not reliant on gear, but that is a big focus too.
You can customize. You can be like, I want to play like Horizon Zero Dawn. You could totally be an archer, or you could totally be a staff player.
They have a game like that. It's called Bloodborne.
No, it's Neo 2.
But I want like the way the game plays or feels to be like Monster Hunter, like the way the world is specifically like that. Those like, you know, obviously just as nice graphics, if not better, with PS5.
You get dizzy.
Have RPG elements, but like make it more than what Monster Hunter is. Because Monster Hunter,
imagine like a narrative with the caliber of like the best of the Sony games.
Yeah.
But like with the gameplay of a Monster Hunter.
Or the narrative of the Monster Hunter movie. The gameplay of Monster
It got canceled.
Monster Hunter has a lot of...
got canceled,
dude. Fucking Fast and the Furious.
Postponed.
Wait, what did?
Movies are all...
Oh, yeah, movies in general. I thought you meant Monster Hunter World.
No.
Which might...
I mean, every movie might get canceled. Not canceled, postponed.
They postponed
Fast and Furious a year,
which they just did
I don't think they want
a release party.
I don't think they want people in theaters. I think they're like some people. Some of the movies are because of production. I think other movies are like,
ones that are.
We don't want this to ruin our box. Like Fast and Furious is a global fucking.
Quiet Place Part 2 has got postponed.
Yeah, no, that's
going to do numbers too.
It won't make numbers because people aren't going to movie theaters right now. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
So, but I'm just like, you guys like Fast and Furious to next year. I was like, bro, you're killing me. Next year.
It's crazy because some of those movie times, they're optimal for money making.
Yeah.
And it's like, whoa, you're moving that?
You lost your window.
Yeah. Definitely.
I'm curious when some of these movies, like, so far we've seen delays because of theater releases. I wonder when the first one's going to be like, we're not going to go do a theater release. We're releasing it stream. Like, we don't want you going out. Just go home and watch it.
Netflix.
Like, remember Interview? There was that whole scare of, like, that Korea was threatening. They're like, don't go to theaters. We'll put it on Netflix or something. And it was out. And I was like, whoa. And it got views because of all the drama surrounding it. But I wonder if other movies might. Anyway, that's.
All right, well, going back to my topic. Thank you guys for
Asian Jim killed it.
No, but so another idea is Monster Hunter has a lot of customability with like the armor sets you can put together, but I want to add to individual armor itself, like a chest piece. You can like parts that you get from a creature that you killed.
Penis?
You can make it like the
Call
same
Duty?
thing, like a certain sturdiness, but like it because you made it with like this type of monster, it's now like a poison resistant chest piece, or the same one, but make it with this part, and now it's a fire resistant chest piece. Stuff like that. Just like I want to like the customization. I want it to be crazy. Like there's so much detail to it. This is a lot. I don't know if like if a game. I mean, I think a game like that could exist because there's elements of everything I want that exist in different games.
Yeah, totally. Like with Death Stranding, I love how much it reminds me of Breath of the Wild. Like just being able to run around the open world. But I want more of the RPG-ness of Breath of the Wild at that, like in Monster Hunter or whatever, at that kind of like world. I'm like, imagine like this like cyberpunk. Like crazy Kojima world, but with like crazy fantastical weird shit.
Yeah,
like,
Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah, exactly.
No, there's so much, but I want games. I want more games.
I mean, we'll see.
Coronavirus, we gotta be playing some games. So.
One of my topics was gonna be like with the corona, but I realized that what we've seen like negativity. What would have been like what's something that is gonna thrive because of this issue?
I think Twitch.
And I thought video games, like, because people are gonna. I think if anything, New Leaf, or is it New Leaf?
Animal Crossing
Or
New Horizons.
New Horizon might do even better than expected because of the virus.
I'm wondering, in the coming months, when they do like sales comparisons of all games, physical versus digital purchases, will that change based on like all this stuff? Because people will not want to go to stores as often,
Right.
or maybe they will. I don't know if it'll affect it or not. But I'm wondering if it'll push more people to do that. Also, I'm curious about streaming services for watching stuff versus theater viewing. Like, it's already been a struggle for theaters to get people to go, and like, this stuff is a recipe for like, I was like, oh, where do we want to do this weekend? We want to celebrate something. I was like, oh, let's go to the movies. And I was like, you know what? And I looked at Amazon Prime, like, there's a lot of movies that like just came out that are already out on rent. Like 1917 is already out to rent. I'm like, I can rent something. It's easy. And like
Safe.
it's no hassle. You don't.
Something is like movie theaters doing streaming, but the pricing that would be completely difficult to
No,
do.
but that's still dangerous.
What do you
People don't
mean?
wanna-
Yeah, the whole point is like you can do it at home.
Right. Like a movie theater would have they buy the film to show or display, or I don't know how movie theaters work to show like a movie, because it's always a time thing, right? Like they'll show a movie for 3 to 4 weeks,
Yeah.
and it moves into the next.
But I don't see.
But when they buy whatever time slot, like for 4 weeks, they're able to show this movie. They would have an app where it's like you can watch this movie through a streaming service, but you have to have like an active subscription through a movie theater or something like that. Because
They wouldn't do that because you want to watch something that
I think,
there's not a lot of interest for that. What you want to watch, if that makes sense.
I think it's like the theater wouldn't have control of that. The movie makers would have control of that.
yeah, okay.
And so I think it would be more like people. They were like, we don't want to lose our money because people aren't going to theaters anymore. So go straight to like whatever streaming service offers them the best deals.
I agree with you. That is true, but I think. I mean, the movie theaters they're gonna make crazy moves if that happens, because they're trying not to die out. Yeah, like they have to do something crazy.
They've already made seats very comfortable, and I'm happy.
Now
about
they
it.
have restaurants.
Yeah, full blown bars and
Bars,
restaurants. Like fucking give me a massage
I don't know,
service.
They gotta Uber us now. Show red carpet experience.
Your car is waiting, sir.
Interview afterwards, like what the fuck?
Red carpet. Dude, imagine you could like.
You're in the movie. They film you. They put you at the hands. So what the fuck?
That's my topic, though.
Huh?
Well, not that. Well, we just finished.
I know this PlayStation. Where can people find you guys?
They can
Or
find
quarantine you?
Hey, they can quarantine me at the Fulia 365 on Instagram, but then they can also find me at the Fulia everywhere else.
They can find me at home at the Last Bosses everywhere.
Find me at Kuja Prime. You can find us all at the Week of DLC. Please stay safe. Please take care of yourself and your loved ones. And until next time, we'll
DLC.
You later.